Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to TCG University. It's me, Noah, your lovely Final Fantasy host, here doing a deck profile for My Hero Academia. This is for our campus championships, and I'll be doing a deck profile on Denki, which you probably saw in the thumbnail. There's only one version of Denki that's out currently. We have seen what the second one looks like, and I think it's cool. But this one, super simple, is a 7-hander, 20 health that says response once per game. After your charge attack deals damage, add all cards from your card pool to your momentum. This ability cannot be canceled. Enhance if your charge or stun attack is blocked, commit a rival foundation. You target commit, which is super sick. So we're going to start this off with the coolest card in Denki's support, Electric Jolt. This card is a EX2 stun 1 that in a charge, so regardless, Denki always says if it's blocked, you get to commit something. That says in momentum, you can flip it to target commit a rival foundation, or enhance if it's completely blocked, it still deals 1 damage, which will trigger Denki's response, which is super sick. We play 3 copies of Electric Surge. This card just says flip it to add the top card of your deck to momentum as a momentum enhance, or you can discard a momentum and give it +3 damage if you think it's going to touch your opponent. We play it just because it's another easy 4-diff for Denki to put into the deck, and if it is in momentum, we add more for specific attacks that come later. We play 4 copies of Indiscriminate Shock. This is one of the kill cons for the deck. You essentially just want to commit your opponent out so you can hit them really hard. This has stun 1. It says you can give a +1 damage for each committed foundation on each of your rivals' committed foundations, and then you can commit a foundation to make your rival commit a foundation. Super sick. We play 4 copies of Grasping Tape Toss because throws are kind of important, and this is a stun attack that doesn't trigger because it's not a charge, but it does deal damage for Denki. That way you can get more momentum for one of the key attacks that we play in here afterwards. It also just says if it's blocked, commit 1. If it's not blocked, commit 1, which your opponent generally wants to block a throw anyways because the damage is pretty high. We play 2 copies of Recipro Burst as the alternate win con. You just rack up momentum with Denki, or you play a bunch of foundations and smack them with an Electric Jolt, put it all into your momentum, and then play a Recipro Burst to essentially just speed them out and hit them really hard. And then we play 2 copies of Searing Glacial Storm. Thank God Denki has Order. This is just used to revert the board, so you're both starting back at 5 foundations if need be, which makes it easier for Denki to keep your opponent tapped down. Moving on to the support we have, I set this up in a different order, so we're going to do the 0 diffs first. We have 4 copies of Gotcha, cards Nuts, and anything you can play it in is generically good. And we play cards such as Indiscriminate Shock that say I can commit it if my opponent plays Stun. This is Stun Hate, so we can commit it for that. Otherwise, it's just a really good block and a really good spam foundation to play under all of its symbols. We play 4 copies of Requesting Assault because there's no way we don't have momentum in this deck generally. So we're just able to restand foundation so we can continue on either playing our turn out or we are able to block attacks. We play 4 copies of Desperate Times because this card's nuts and says your opponent commits a foundation if they draw cards, meaning again your Indiscriminate Volts or Indiscriminate Shock will end up doing more damage and there's less things they have to respond to it. We play 4 copies of Bonds of Friendship. It's a 6-check. It's a 1 high block, and that's really the reason we have it. It's also a 1 difficulty, but if your opponent plays Fury attacks, this is just inherently good to have, so the Fury attacks don't do as much damage. 3 copies of Ice Gliding, because Ice Gliding is Speed Hate, and Speed Hate's really good in this format. I think Speed Hate's good in general. Commit, the attack gets +1 or -2 speed. If it's blocked, the next one gets +1 or -2 speed. Pretty simple. 3 copies of Tape for Speed Hate, or to make the block a mid, so it's a more desirable block mod that you want to hit. We play 3 copies of Self-Sacrifice just in case we're building into deadlock or we need that damage. Damage Hate, we can use this, or damage reduction, I guess. We can use this to get ourselves out of deadlock and reduce the damage on attacks, even if it's by 1. 2 copies of Short Circuit. Cards really here, again, just for damage reduction. We are a 20 health character. 7-handers are generically weaker and have less vitality, so it's really nice to have cards that say, hey, this doesn't hurt as much. We have 3 copies of Making a Stand. You can either use this to make your rival discard momentum, or you can enhance and give your stun attack +1 damage, which just about every attack that this character plays, I believe, is a stun attack. Yep, every attack that we have is a stun attack, so all of our damage, or all of our attacks can get +1 damage off of Making a Stand, which is really good. 2 copies of Fulfilled My Duty, just so you can end your opponent's enhanced step early in case they're playing like maddening attacks like Stab Strike or Recipro. You can just kind of end it there and not have to worry about too much stuff piling on that's going to end up hurting you in the long run. 2 copies of Shock Treatment because this card's nuts on your opponent's turn, or any turn technically. You can enhance, destroy it to target, commit a foundation, or you can discard a momentum to target, commit a foundation on your attack. Usually I just blow it up, that way I can live longer. 2 charged up because if it's in play, if you add anything to your momentum, you can remove the charged up and you can add in anything from your discard pile in. So you can put in another electric jolt or an electric surge for extra momentum, or that ability to target commit with electric jolt. This is a super good staple in general. Classmate introductions at a 4 of under all of its symbols. +1 speed and +1 damage on your first attack is inherently good. And if they don't block the first attack, it's +1 speed on the subsequent attacks unless they block one. 3 copies of Passing the Torch. We're playing a 7-hander, but we do want to draw cards when we need them. So you play Passing the Torch just so you're able to see specific cards or attacks, or you can set up your board. And then we play 2 copies of Drowning and Resentment. Enhance, flip, the stun attack gets +2 or -2 damage. Well, again, it's damage reduction, it's play ball committed, and you can respond flip. After a card leaves the discard pile, due to your rival's non-character effect, they add the top card of their deck to their card pool face down. So if you're playing anything that stuffs your card pool, you can also hit them back with it, as long as it's not Mina, because it goes in face down, and Mina ignores that. But that's Denki. The goal of the deck really is to just pile on momentum, so you can either kill them with the Recipro Burst that the deck provides, or you stun them out so you can kill them with Indiscriminate Shock. It's a very try to kill them on turn 2, turn 3 at the latest, so you kind of just gas out. Other than that, catch the next deck profiles coming up, and as James would say, stay alert.